Yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto. Welcome to Beyond the Block, everything crypto.
That's a great question. Let's get into that.
Because at the end of the day, it's the everyday people who are driving crypto adoption, right?
Yeah, they're the ones who are really making it happen.
So what does this all mean for them?
Well, let's talk about that. Well, if the SEC wins this thing and sets this precedent that XRP is a security, it could have a pretty big impact on the whole crypto market.
You mean it could make people less likely to invest in other cryptos?
Exactly, yeah, because they might be worried that those could also be considered securities.
And subject to all those stricter regulations.
Really, exactly. It could create this whole atmosphere of uncertainty.
Yeah, people get nervous.
People get nervous, they don't want to invest, and the whole industry could slow down.
And innovation suffers.
Exactly. New projects can't get the funding they need.
Makes sense, but couldn't more regulation also be a good thing?
Oh, for sure. There are definitely two sides to this.
I mean, right now, the lack of clear rules, it's led to all those scams and the market manipulation, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, some level of regulation is definitely needed
To protect people.
to protect investors, yeah, and make sure the market is fair.
But it's got to be done in a way that doesn't kill innovation, right?
Exactly. That's the tricky part.
It's like finding that sweet spot.
Yeah, that balance between protecting people and letting innovation flourish.
And that's what makes this Ripple case so important.
It really is, because it could set the tone for how the whole crypto world is regulated.
It's a defining moment.
Yeah, a real turning point.
Okay, but let's shift gears a little bit and talk about Ripple specifically.
Sure.
We were talking earlier about them potentially separating from XRP.
Right, like cutting ties.
Yeah, to minimize the legal risks.
It's a bold move.
Can you explain a little bit more about what that would look like and why they would even consider it?
Well, basically, they would be distancing themselves from the very cryptocurrency that made them famous.
Wow, like abandoning their own creation.
It's a drastic step, for sure.
So why would they even think about doing that?
Well, think about it. These legal battles are costing them a fortune.
Yeah, they're dragging on for
And creating all this uncertainty, right?
Right.
So they might see separating from XRP as a way to protect their main business, which is RippleNet.
RippleNet, their global payment network.
Exactly. And that doesn't entirely depend on XRP.
Right. A lot of their partners use it for regular currency transactions, too.
Exactly. So they might be thinking they can survive without XRP.
So they're betting on RippleNet being successful on its own.
Yeah. Basically, it's a risky move, but it might be their best option.
It's almost like a parent letting their child go out into the world,
That's a great analogy.
hoping they've given them the tools to succeed.
Yeah, except in this case, the parent is a tech company and the child is a cryptocurrency.
Exactly. It's a weird relationship, right?
It is, but it reflects this whole idea that XRP is supposed to be decentralized.
Right, like it can function independently of Ripple.
Exactly. So even if Ripple walks away, XRP could still potentially thrive on its own.
Okay, that's interesting.
A lot of XRP supporters believe in that.
They think it has the potential to make it on its own.
Yeah, because it has its own utility as a bridge currency. It's got this network of validators and a growing community.
So there's hope for XRP even without Ripple.
That's the idea, but let's be real, it would still be a big blow.
Yeah, it would look bad like they're giving in to the SEC.
Exactly. It could hurt investor confidence,
For sure.
but some people might see it as a necessary sacrifice.
To save Ripple.
Yeah, and let XRP find its own way.
Wow, this case is just full of twists and turns.
It's like a thriller novel.
It's not just about a legal battle anymore, it's about the future of an industry.
And a fundamental debate about the role of technology in our society.
Yeah, it's like we're watching history unfold.
We are. The decisions made now could have huge consequences down the road.
It's like we're on the edge of a financial revolution.
It feels that way, doesn't it?
Yeah, crypto has the potential to change everything.
It does, but it's going to be a bumpy ride.
That's for sure. But that's what makes it exciting.
Exactly. We're at the forefront of something new and innovative.
And the decisions we make now will determine what that future looks like.
Absolutely. So it's important to stay informed and engaged.
And to think critically about all the different perspectives.
Exactly. Don't just accept everything at face value.
Question everything.
Exactly. And that's what we try to do here in the deep dive, right?
That's right. We're all about exploring these complex issues.
And helping people understand the nuances of these emerging technologies.
Okay, before we get too philosophical, I want to bring it back to the practical stuff.
Sure.
For people who are following this case, What are the key things they should be watching for?
Well, the first thing is the appeals process.
Right, that's going to be a big one.
If the SEC wins the appeal, it could embolden them to go after other cryptocurrencies.
So we're watching to see if that initial ruling in Ripple's favor gets overturned.
Exactly. That'll be a major turning point.
What else should we be paying attention to?
Watch what Ripple does next. Will they stick with their current strategy, or will they try something else?
Like separating from XRP?
Yeah, that's a real possibility. They might see it as their only option.
And of course, we can't forget about the global implications.
Right. The whole world is watching this case.
How other countries react to the SEC's actions could determine where crypto innovation goes next.
Absolutely. If the U.S. becomes too hostile, other countries might seize the opportunity.
They could become the new crypto hubs.
Exactly. It's all up in the air right now.
This whole situation reminds me of the early days of the internet.
Oh, yeah, I see that.
Nobody knew what it was going to become or how to regulate it.
It was a wild time, for sure.
But we figured it out eventually.
We did, and the internet flourished.
So maybe we could do the same thing with crypto.
I think we can. It just takes time.
It's like we're building the plane while we're flying it.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to stay informed and be open to new ideas.
Because the future of crypto is being written right now.
It is. And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
That's a great point to end on.
It is. It's all about being engaged and informed.
This deep dive into the SEC versus Ripple case has been a wild ride.
It has, full of twists and turns and legal drama.
We've explored the arguments, the motivations, and the implications for the future of crypto.
It's a fascinating case.
But the story's not over yet.
Not by a long shot. There's still a lot to unfold.
So stay tuned, deep divers, because this is just the beginning.
It is. The future of finance is still being written.
And we'll be here to explore it every step of the way.
Absolutely. We'll keep you informed and engaged.
That's all for this deep dive, but don't go anywhere. We've got more coming up.
Stay curious, keep exploring, and we'll see you next time.
This is host speaker sign off. So if the SEC wins, it could make people hesitate to invest in other cryptocurrencies, right?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, if they set the precedent that XRP is a security, it could make people think, well, what about all these other cryptos? Are they going to get targeted next?
Right, like a domino effect.
Right. Exactly. And that could really slow down innovation.
Because people will be too scared to invest.
Yeah, exactly. If investors are spooked, new projects won't be able to get off the ground.
But couldn't more regulation also bring some stability to the market?
That's the argument, right? Some people say we need more regulation to protect investors and to prevent scams and market manipulation.
Yeah, those have been big problems in the crypto world.
They have, and that's why some people think the SEC is stepping in.
To clean things up.
Exactly. But the question is, can they do it without stifling innovation?
Right. It's about finding that balance.
It is. We need rules,
Yeah.
but we don't want to kill the creativity that's driving this industry.
Exactly. So what should we be watching for as this case unfolds?
Well, keep a close eye on the appeals process. That's going to be crucial.
Okay, so we're watching to see if Ripple's partial victory gets overturned.
Exactly. And we should also be watching how Ripple reacts.
Do they stick with their strategy or try something different?
Right, like separating from XRP, that's still a possibility.
And what about the global impact?
Oh, that's huge. Other countries are watching this very closely.
If the U.S. cracks down too hard, it could push innovation elsewhere.
Exactly. Other countries are ready to welcome crypto companies with open arms.
It's like a global competition for the future of finance.
It is. And the stakes are high.
This whole thing reminds me of the early days of the internet.
Oh, yeah, I see the parallels.
There was so much uncertainty back then, but we figured it out eventually.
We did, and the internet thrived.
So maybe we can do the same thing with crypto.
I think we can. It just takes time and a willingness to adapt.
It's like we're building the plane as we're flying it.
Exactly. But that's also what makes it so exciting. It's a challenge, but it's an incredible opportunity.
We're on the cusp of something truly transformative.
We are, and it's up to all of us to shape the future of this technology.
Well said. This deep dive into the SEC versus Ripple has been a real eye-opener.
It has. It's a complex case with far-reaching implications.
We've covered the arguments, the motivations, and the potential impact on the future of crypto.
It's a story that's still being written.
So stay tuned, deep divers, because this is just the beginning.
It is. The world of crypto is constantly evolving.
So stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring.
And don't be afraid to challenge assumptions and ask tough questions.
That's what we're all about here on The Deep Dive.
Absolutely. It's all about critical thinking and expanding our understanding.
This has been another fascinating deep dive. Thank you for joining us.
It's been a pleasure, as always.
Until next time, Keep exploring the frontiers of knowledge, and join us again for another adventure into the depths of a captivating topic. This is Host Speaker's sign-off.
Everything crypto, crypto.